Mr. Tan is one of my favorites, dude. That dude is awesome. You know, did he get the right break that he should have got? I don't think so, but he's still one of my favorites. So they sat in the class, all these guys I'm talking about, and Snoop Dogg, I don't know why I didn't say that, but Snoop Dogg is my, outside of the crew that you hear me talking about, I watched Snoop Dogg in the studio with G and all that Death Row, and Snoop Dogg is one of the dopest guys I ever know, and he is the most coolest guy you ever want to meet. I really like him and
He's
watch him
genuine.
working.
He's genuine. He's a genuine guy. He's
Oh
not
man,
fake.
and he's dope. And he's dope. And he's dope.
Okay.
And check this out. On that same note, on the Death Row umbrella. Now, this is something that I wanted to expand on what you were talking about, Vince, about me and Eminem. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but me and Eminem were on the table of Dr. Dre at the same time. I was on the table of Dr. Dre. I was his primary focus until Eminem came. And then I was still his primary focus. But then it was brought to his attention, which I understand this truly
You
too.
forgot, G.
The paradigm of the,
You forgot. You missed something. It wasn't Eminem at first. It was Tupac. You was on when Tupac came in, and then Eminem came after that. When you was over at Aftermath and you was working with them, and that's when y'all was on that same platform.
Yeah.
So I looked up Lord G. I looked up Lord G, and it said Death Row Records wanted Lord G to be the positive person for Death Row. Is that true? Like I read that today.
Exactly true.
You were the positive guy for Death Row Records. I was like, wow.
I was going to be the only artist, because at that time, no artist over there was doing conscious music. And that's the kind of music that I do. Wearing like ancient symbolisms and symbols that represent peace and connectivity and the flow of productive energy, shit like that.
Yeah.
They didn't have no artist that was that I would have been in my own lane.
It said that on the website. Like, that's what Death Row was like. They wanted him for the positive side of Death Row Records. He was that guy for Death Row.
Facts.
Cool. So I'm glad
that's fact.
I'm glad the internet got it right.
Now check this out though. This is the point I wanted to bring to y'all attention. Now, when Dre was analyzing Eminem's work and mine, it was brought to his attention that the racial dynamics that exist, and this is something that's true whether a person accepts it or not. So to put the money into Eminem being this white rapper, especially at that time, there was no dominant position like that.
90s,
it was a smart move, very smart, because racially it was a whole bunch of black dope MCs. But see, this is why I take my hat off to M too, because at first I'm feeling like, they're supposed to be pushing me. But when I listened to his ability and I thought about the elements and the paradigm of it and the racial thread of it, it made more sense. And M, he definitely shows his ability on high levels. That brother's mad dangerous. So I give him enough props because it was a smart move too. And the timing was just right for it to be him and the space to open up the trajectory from the racial dynamics of it. You understand what I'm saying? So I understood it. But then check this out. The game got some of this dark shit in it that was so dark. I saw another view of it, how I was being protected from it.
Okay.
Because I really represent the light. And there's some dark energies moving in that shit. Believe me when I tell you that.
The whole East Coast, West Coast thing, was that a thing, guys? You guys were there during that time. Was there really that much anger between East Coast, West Coast, or was that just for the fucking...
That's just for the promotion of violence.
Okay.
That's the Matrix doing a propagandist projection. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because really, it was beef between two people. It was Suge and Puffy that had a problem. It wasn't no East and West shit.
And how did Tupac
But you remember when
wound up
Suge got on stage and he said about being on people being on the record? Remember when they were in New York and they spoke against Puffy when Suge was on stage? Remember?
Yeah, dude.
And this is what it was. That's what started all that bullshit. It was never this side against that side. It was these two men with a difference.
Yeah. So Simply says, I do think it's possible to get along alongside each other while recognizing differences. We should try to treat everyone the same. Eminem is a talented wigger, even if he went full left. Yeah, I mean, like he did. I mean, we honestly, guys, this is what we talk about on our show a lot. We don't really want to hear our artist politics. We really don't. Just make some music, make some movies, make some
art, make art,
whatever you're doing, and just make it. Like I don't care.
Yeah,
like just like you know what, when I buy Lord G's album or I play his video or I support an artist that Vinny's promoting, they don't care who I vote for. They just want my money.
Yeah.
Right?
All that shit, don't even bring that into it.
Right.
Create good music. Just make good music that's creative and good and positive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All that negative shit, we don't need that. Music is something that brings people together. That's what it's always been.
Have you ever had the opportunity to work with Eminem, Vinny, or Lord G? Has he ever said, "Hey, I'd like to work with you guys and help me produce a track or something"?
No, it never got to that.
Go ahead, Vince.
It never, it never. The closest it got to in the early stages, when I was working with Mark Bass and Jeff, and they right after the Rap Olympics, when I was promoting him at the Rap Olympics, and that's when all the stuff actually happened, and and they came to see me and Lord G. And they knew we were with Dr. Dre, and they came to meet us, and they asked us, "Hey, can we get Eminem's music to Dr. Dre?" And me and Lord G both said, "Yes, we will do our best," and we did that. And then of course it came to a certain situation where in the beginning Dr. Dre did not accept it, and then the Rap Olympics came, in which I was promoting Burn at the Rap Olympics, and then I had an in, and I had the new version of Eminem's record, Just Don't Give a Fuck, which nobody else had. So I started.
Can I get that copy? Can you send that to me, please?
Well, all you got to do is put it on the internet. You'll find it. It's right there.
I'm just kidding. It was a joke. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I wanted to feel special, Vinny. I wanted to feel special.
Okay. No problem. So then after the interns and everything got the music to Jimmy Iovine, it turned into a fiasco, and Eminem was born. I mean, with My Name Is, all that stuff. And so after they got their deal, when I went to Mark, and we all went to the studio to see Eminem, and took BGV he went to do some tracks with them. That's the closest we came to doing anything with those guys. Because after that, we kind of fell off, and everybody went their way, and Eminem just blew up, and he didn't have time, and we didn't get a chance to really, really, really sink in with him like I thought we would have. It just didn't happen that way. And hey,
was it a fiasco where everybody was trying to get a piece of him, and it was just impossible to
Nah, it wasn't like that, because it was at one point where Vince had him with me, and Vince told me to keep him with me, and we was gonna let him open up for me. And Vince told me to keep him by me. I had him sit up in the stands, and I kind of went doing my thing. I wasn't really paying attention to him like I should have been. Right. I had him sitting there, but I was worried about the Universal Brigade, and I had some of my other group members that were young brothers that I was worried about, because we were doing a show.
So you did what your uncle or your cousin did when you were a kid, he didn't pay attention and you disappeared for 4 hours and he had to call you on the loudspeaker. Is that what happened here?
It was damn near some shit like that because one of the shows, see, it was some things that people thought was happening that didn't manifest because he was supposed to open for me on a college show one time, but we didn't get to do that show if I'm not mistaken. Something happened, so he didn't get to open then. So we were close to him before he exploded.
Well,
we had a couple of, we were there, you know.
What
So
happened,
you guys,
G, what happened is when you guys got on stage, this was the show at UCLA when we were opening up for, the militia was opening up for Goody Mob and Ice Cube and Mac 10. And so
Okay.
I was promoting Eminem, and he had came out to LA to accept his Rap Olympics prize, which was to be on the show called The Wake Up Show at the time. And the Wake Up Show people was the people who actually burned in the Bay Area, broke our record. So we had a relationship with them. And so when the promoter wouldn't allow Eminem to perform, Lord G stuck his neck out and said, "No, Vinnie, let him come on the stage with us, and I'm gonna give him the first 7 minutes and let him spit his song, blah 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 blah." So we were standing on stage. We were standing on stage, and then right before they went on to do it, Eminem looks at me and looks at his watch and said, "Hey man, I gotta go. I gotta go to the Wake Up Show. But Vinny, I don't know how to get there. Can you take me to the Wake Up Show?" So I left my group, and I took Eminem to the Wake Up Show, and he did a at that night. He did a freestyle on the Wake Up Show that everybody used to listen to, and he did one of the dopest freestyles he ever did in his life on that show. And Dr. Dre heard it. Everybody was talking about the guy that took second place at the Rap Olympics. He actually should have took first place. You know.
So I'm gonna ask you both. You both watched 8 Mile. Is that true? Did Eminem kind of go through that shit to get like any kind of cred?
Well, there's bits and pieces of that. It was based off of his life. It wasn't truly his life. Him coming up in Detroit and going to the rap shows and doing that's all true. You know,
okay, that's what I care about. Like, that's all. I don't care about the fucking bullshit with his family. Like, I care about, like, did he have to perform in these clubs where he was the white guy and they were like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And they were just like, "What?"
Well, we can't speak for that because we was living in LA. He was living in Detroit. And
okay.
So we do know that he existed in that world, and he was hanging out with Proof and all those guys, and he had all that stuff was pretty much true. And he was doing rap shows and stuff like that. So, and Mark used to always call and tell me, "Vinny, I got the hottest rapper going." I used to say, "No, Mark, I got the hottest rapper from Detroit." "No, man, I got," and we used to go back and forth. Lord G or Eminem.
Do you guys like his band D12, or do you know any of the guys from that band?
Yeah.
Like, they're all Michigan guys, right?
Oh yeah. Proof was one of them. That's what I was talking about. Rest in peace to Proof. And then Bizarre's real cool cat, and they all was cool people, you know.
I like, what was it, 10 or 15 years ago? He went back. I made an album with those guys. It was good. Like, it's nice to not forget where you came from. I do appreciate that. I mean, I've always been an Eminem fan. Even though he turned left, his songs are still entertaining. He still can rap. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, do you think his songs are still good, Lord G and Vinny? Like, do you think they're still?
When you say he turned left, what do you mean?
Well, we got to know what his politics were. Like, we never knew before. Like, he just sang. He just did his shit. And all of a sudden, he got super rich. He got divorced. He got all that shit. And all of a sudden, he's going to tell us his outlook on politics. Dude, I don't care. Just tell me how fucking many times Stan is going to kill his girlfriend. I love that song. Like that's what I want. I don't care about the other nonsense. I don't care if Robert Redford or Robert De Niro is a leftist piece of shit. I just want to see the guy act. I don't care. Like, I know it's weird, but that's just like I've never cared about other people's politics.
You care about the music.
Yeah, I care about, and you know, they say you need to separate the artist from the art. That's not easy. That's not easy though, dude. But they never shut the fuck up.
Like, because you got social media. Everybody's dirty laundries out there. You know what I mean?
I want to thank Julio Scissors. He gifted the channel 10 memberships. And that's thanks to you guys being here. Julio gifted 10 memberships, and that 10 memberships gives my man Julio 3 raffle tickets. Because on my channel, guys, I'm a big bourbon guy. So every month I raffle off a bottle of bourbon, and this month's bottle of bourbon is Eagle Rare 10. And Julio won last month's bottle. That was an Elmer T. Lee bottle.
Chest, that's for sure.
So, Julio, your ticket numbers are 234, 511, 512, and 513. I write these on the board, and on the 31st, guys, that's 3 days from now, I'll be drawing a winner. If you look behind me, this is my board of donations. I do also want to tell the chat too. If you look in the pin chat, I got that super tip app today. I don't know if it works, but I did put the link in there, and you guys could go in there and try that. If it doesn't work, I'll have to figure it out. But I think I have it set up because right now I'm actually using OBS and it's working. Like, I got that part to work. I just don't know if the super tip part is working. But there's only 3 voices in there, guys, because they set me up, but they didn't actually put the people I wanted in there for voices. But I'm going to tell you one thing, Vinny and Lord G, you might be one of my voices for my super tips going forward. I love you guys, man. I love you guys. This has been a fantastic stream so far, and I don't even feel like we've even got into 10% of their lives. You know what I'm saying, Derek? I know they know so much more about just the dirty side of the business too, like how people get fucked over, and you know, how they pick a winner. Like, kind of Lord G, they picked a winner at Death Row when they picked Eminem for monetary reasons, not based on skill, based on racial preference at the time. It got a bunch of white kids in the suburbs to like rap. It really did.
Now that thread is in there. But M is dangerous as a motherfucker now.
Oh, dude, he appealed to the black community too. That's the point, right? Like, if you didn't know, you didn't know.
But his lyrical ability, that's a cold motherfucker now. He a bad motherfucker.
He did that one rap where he did like so many fucking words in like a minute. It was unbelievable. Where he did that super speed. Oh my God. And you could understand every word.
He's extremely dangerous. And you know, my teacher is Rakim, right? And you know, it's an interview with Rakim even saying Eminem ain't nothing to play around with. And if you write rhymes and you hear the shit that be coming out that boy's mouth, you know that's a dangerous motherfucker.
And he can go from pop friendly to dark in a heartbeat. Like, the guy's talented.
Yeah. He ain't no joke,
man.
I had to take, but now you're right though. There is a racial paradigm there. That thread is there. You're absolutely right, for sure.
Right. Yeah, but again, everybody wants to make money. Now, I know Vinny said, "Hey, dude, I was here for the relationships, and I appreciate that too. But you still got to pay bills, right? You still got to pay your bills. I mean,
facts.
Think about it though. Like, Dre had the Beats headphones and sold that shit for what, $2 billion to Apple. Like, oh my God, like what? And when Apple got them, they kept the name because they're that good. It's crazy. So, like, you guys know Dre. You said he's super skilled on the board. Like, he knows what he wants out of an artist. Is he that kind of guy? Like, he can see the talent, say, this is where you need to go. Don't go that direction. This is where I need you to go, because this is my when I saw you on stage. That's why I brought you in, because I know what I can get out of you. Is he that kind of guy? Is he that smart?
Well, you know, Dre, and that's one of the biggest jewels, let's phrase it as a jewel, was the experience I had to be around him. And he's very much that kind of guy that you described. He's a visionary, so he can see potential and other elements too, like determination and drive, and some of these other elements that you can see in a person's, like their aura, their persona, right?
Right.
And so one thing about being around him it's very special to me, and a significant jewel again that I got from being around him, that I'm very proud of having, is the focus on what you're doing to make it be the best that it can be. He's a perfectionist. See, Eminem is a perfectionist. See, this is what they have in common. So they're trying to make something be the best it can be. And the one thing that he taught me that I use to this day, and remember, I was around him 30 years ago.
Right.
The thing that he taught me about making the sound quality of what you're trying to present, making sure it has a high level of clarity. So it's all about mixing, and turning those knobs correctly. And he told me a saying, a mantra that I like to use. He said, it's not always the equipment, it's who's working it.